Welcome back to the Acer Team Story Cup Season 3. This is mYinsanity versus Axiom, a best of 9 between these two teams, but a best of 1 between these players. Although this could potentially be an unofficial best of 3 depending on how this game goes. We'll extrapolate that more in a moment. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, playing for Axiom Esports. It's going to be the red Zerg player, Impact.
And in the bottom left, as the blue Terran, it is mYinsanity's Jjakji.
So some of you might be like, wait, we already saw Jjakji and Impact play out. This game is long over. To explain real fast, when you're on your last life, you can resurrect a player in the Acer Team Story Cup that's already played today, but only on your last life. So now that mYinsanity is one loss away from losing everything today, they can bring back Jjakji. Now, that being said, Impact still has an extra life behind him. Axiom has 2 lives left, this one and the next one. So if they want to resurrect Impact, that would be a possibility as well, which would officially make an unofficial best of 3. That being said, though, Heavy Rain was a map where I think Jjakji, I don't know, it just felt like he had control for a lot of the game and just suddenly lost it when Impact made that really, really sexy tech swap. Yansu is more of a map where I don't think we're going to see that really, really crazy 5-6 base scenario.
Yes, I agree with that for sure. I honestly can't call any way. Last time we saw him go for a very early pool, Impact it is.
Yeah,
this time and last time. Yeah, it canceled a command center, remember? It's hard to remember the beginning of that game, when the end of the game was so cool. But yeah, I canceled that command center, and it set actually Impact up for, I mean, a pretty good mid-early game in the, I mean, I would never say Jjakji really had total control of that game, not like we usually see him do. But, I mean, he was definitely on par until that tech switch for sure. But Impact might... Can we say Impact CVT is actually because of that early lead? He got such a good game out of Jjakji? I don't think so. I think Impact just has really good CVT.
It definitely influenced it, but it wasn't like the discerning thing that like led to the loss.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna see another good game. However they play it, whatever they do. And I wouldn't be surprised if they both went for standard again. They both seem very confident in this specific matchup. Jjakji in general is probably really confident just playing for his team in team matches. I feel like he's always the ace. Yeah,
that's for sure. And even in interviews, like you'll see Stardust and him joke around, kind of, but it always boils down to like I think the team recognizes Jjakji's kind of like their powerhouse strength. But one thing to talk about too, beyond this, the coolest thing we got to see at that last series between them, and we can talk about builds all day, and yeah, Jjakji says command center down, cool, whatever. The fact that he went Broodlords, we kind of hyped up that one corruptor that was like, haha, he's there. But the choice to actively go Broodlords is not one made very often, if ever anymore, and it was such a clutch decision that played off so well. Because while both players did a lot of really cool things and showcased just how talented of players they are, like the fact that they could each think outside the box, like Jjakji going for those desperate drops at the end of the game, or Impact even going for Broodlords, mistakes were made too. And that's what kind of makes me concerned going into this one. Like Impact losing that spawning pool and having it dead for almost 5 minutes, that could have been game-endingly devastating.
That could have been really, really bad.
And you look at that objectively, you're like, wow, what a simple mistake. A Bronze League player wouldn't make that mistake type thing. But the reality is, these guys are so evenly matched. This is going to be so intense for both of them. That's why mistakes like that happen.
It's odd to think, but they are so high skill that they force each other to make mistakes based off how high skill they are.
That's very true. It's a weird way to look at it, but that's very true.
Yeah.
Control the Watchtower now for Impact, though. This is a nice start. This Overlord will not die back here. You can make it into an Overseer later for scouting information. But one thing out of Jjakji we do see from time to time are, of course, those Vikings that come out early. You go for the 1 instead of the medevac to start cleaning up Overlords around the map. Impact is not notorious for spreading an overabundance of Overlords, though. He's only got 3 out really right now. And if you go for that Viking, it's not like it won't pay off, but if you go for the Viking first, it delays your pushes. It means you can't get that medevac out soon, and any sort of map control kind of out of your favor. We do have Hellions finally coming out, though.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about the fact that Jjakji didn't get a Reaper. He had an SCV in the main. He was trying to hide it to get that extra scout, and I'm sure that actually works a good number of time, getting that free scout, so you could call it. But it didn't hear. Impact saw it, and Impact is well aware that a Reaper's not going to come in and scout what he is doing, which is throwing on a Roach Warren. This is probably going to be just for those like 7 roaches attacking the front. Your hope is that they're caught so off guard that they maybe won't even repair in time. Like the bunker will be busted by then, which would be actually terrible, absolutely terrible. You're supposed to hold it and lose only a few SCVs.
Yeah, the roach. Well, he's got a full wall off too, which is nice. A lot of times players play with this roach before that like full wall off goes down, and it's a lot more dangerous. But for the time being, the roaches will have to worry about the Hellions.
Okay, well it's no longer just that roach bust.
Yeah, roach bane.
That's a roach baneling.
And he's cut drones too. Oh boy, you're gonna stick on 40. This could actually be a really hard hold for Jjakji unless he gets a scout of this. But because he didn't have a Reaper to jump around the main, because he still doesn't have a Reaper to jump around the main, he may not scout this till it's too late. 3 bases? This looks standard. Seeing a couple Queens and Zerglings in the front lines, again, standard. But having actively hit those roaches, now moving them out on the map, this is what's going to catch him off guard.
Yeah, this is looking really bad. Where is he going to see these roaches? Not the Zelnaga. Impact has it. That's why he went over there. He's going to see them right now. There he goes. He moves towards
the Hellions need to live. They need to snipe off banelings. They need to be used for the Zerglings. If these go down early, he's in a lot of trouble.
He could still. I don't know if he saw the lings. He could still think that it's only the roaches.
Oh god.
Ooh, that's
you know the worst
really
thing?
Bad.
Okay, let's say, hang on. Hypothetically, Jjakji holds this like a miracle boss, crazy guy. Banelings don't die. He could knock down the rocks. Impact, that is. But he doesn't know what the banelings coming in a little bit too late. Surprise, surprise! On top of the depots, on top of the bunker, it goes down. Hellions are going to cut these back. That's what I was talking about, though. Sniping off the banelings. Unfortunately, though, there's not enough bioforce behind this. The natural base will have to be sacrificed, but he's got a lot at the top. He's got a bunker coming down. He's got 2 bunkers coming down. Jjakji may just be able to hold this, although it's going to be really close still.
I think he should hold the top, especially, yeah, he pulls the
Natural's
SCV.
still good, by the way.
Want Impact to do that. I would rather him completely cleaned out the natural.
Yeah, exactly.
If some SCVs actually survived the natural, I feel like that shouldn't have happened. Now, Impact, this was an attack that had to do damage for sure. And
he killed 12 workers.
I'm not sure if that's actually enough. You know, he's running behind it and whatnot, but does he have a response to what Jjakji's medevac timing will be? I don't know.
This is going to be rough. It's an all-in. You're forced to follow up on this. You don't have tech. It doesn't matter if you drone up. Morlings go down for almost nothing. Hellions clean this up quite nicely, and that Widowmine hit as well. Impact is actually in a lot of danger for her counterattack. Even if he starts making banelings right now, he may not even have enough because the Hellions may snipe them off.
Yeah. I would have loved if he had, like, you know, stayed in the natural, not only killed all the SCVs, but also kind of, like, contained for, like, even 10 more seconds. That gives you 10 more seconds of security to go ahead and drone. Yeah. Take as long as possible to drone, and then exactly when they move out is exactly when you start making those units, rather than being like, oh, I don't know, when is he really going to attack? The answer is now. It's going to be combat shield-less, potentially, but I'm actually not too worried about that.
I like the push timing, yeah. Like, going now is a lot better than waiting for the combat shields, that's for sure. At least, at the bare minimum, he could probably tear down this 3rd base. Roaches are out, but roaches don't fare well versus simmed units. Not, especially not this many.
There's only 1 medevac. He kind of missed up on that, you know, having to defend and whatnot. Didn't make the other one. So the pickup potential is not there. So if Impact can swamp him, he can deal with this very effectively, but he doesn't have anything to swamp with. Where are the lings?
Well, actually, the Widowmines to be unburrowed to make sure they don't detonate prematurely, but a little bit unnecessary. I think he thought there was a lot more behind this. Jjakji taking the ultra control of the game right now. Queen's gonna go down, so are these roaches. Marauder's just busting through these roaches like they're nothing.
He had the room to make those 14 roaches some time ago, unless Larva only just popped. I don't know, because he's definitely making enough now. He should have been done in it 30 seconds later.
I don't know that Impact can hold this base. If the rocks were down, maybe it's different, but that long reinforcement from the main and the natural.
Coming in from pieces. This is a problem. The roaches are terrible.
But you know what? Look at the Marines. All over-stimmed and not enough energy in the medevacs. Maybe he can clean this?
Yeah, pull the drone's probably the best idea right now, and he will go ahead and send this back. Just barely.
Oh my god.
Huh.
He gets that Marauder. This changes up a lot because now the roaches are a little bit better, but I can't believe Impact is holding this so well so far. This is an attack that I thought was going to be so one-sided, but the reinforcements now coming might just be that killing blow.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it well.
Well, I mean,
he held it at all.
He lost all the queens. He lost his initial roaches, but still pushed that back instead of being that quick death. So that's what that's how I see it, at least. But Widowmine's rearming is going to be the biggest thing to deal with. Marines, unfortunately, going to be focus fire down, but here comes round number 2, and that's the thing about Terran players. They rally hard. So
well, Jjakji realizes how many problems Impact is having.
Spinecart might complete soon, but I don't feel going to help too much. It'll help a bit. Queen lives only long enough to get an inject off, but the hatchery might die before those eggs hatch. Roaches are still sniping off Marines, though. In low amounts, Bio doesn't cut it by the looks of it, especially with that medevac being out of energy. Widowmine's going to rearm shortly too, trying to focus those down, but here come 2 fresh new medevacs, and that's the healing power he really needs.
You very rarely see this low units attack.
I know, this is like a tug-of-war. This is like Nexus Wars almost, like you've just got like one building at the start of the game, Marines versus Roaches, but still this is this perpetual battle that just won't end. The larvae do actually pop, worth noting, but I think at this point Jjakji may have snowballed a little too much.
I don't know, I think it's actually Impact's turn to come back. The Roaches are finally coming out in large enough numbers. There are no more Marauders, but Impact just GG's anyways.
Oh man, that was way special. He had the Spine Crow on the front line too. I think if the Widowmines weren't there, if he cleaned up those Widowmines, I don't think we would have seen the tap out. But it's worth noting, guys, they can bring Impact back again for that 3rd time. As it's now 4-4, we go to the ace match. And I gotta be honest, coming into today, I didn't know which team would win, but I figured it would be one-sided regardless. But my expectations blown out the window. 4-4, guys. Jjakji brings it back for mYinsanity. Now it's Axiom who's on match point. Both players 1 loss away. This is the last game coming up. No more beyond this. If there is